Hello, and welcome to the latest in our Stories from the Strongrooms series. In this instalment, we take a glimpse at Christmases past as revealed by the archives at Hull History Centre. Don't forget to subscribe to the History Centre's channel for notifications whenever a new video is uploaded. It's December and it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas here at Hull History Centre. Knowing we had the last 2022 Stories from the Strongrooms talk to pull together, we allowed ourselves to be distracted by all the bright shiny things in the stores. We will admit to losing a few happy hours before realising that we really needed to get ourselves organised if we were ever going to get this talk ready for Christmas. And what better way to get organised is there than a to-do list? So here it is, Merry Christmas, our Christmas to-do list inspired by discoveries in the archives. First task, buy Christmas cards. To get us started, this is a Christmas card printed by the University of Hull for the year 1946. At this time, it was known as the University College of Hull. The picture on the card shows the Vernon Cohen buildings near to the campus entrance. The crest shows the university's coat of arms and motto, which is Lampada Ferens. This is Latin for carry the light. In this context, the light refers to the light of learning, of illuminating subjects through education. But let us pretend that it actually refers to Christmas lights, just for the season. The card was found in the papers of a former student at Hull. Such cards were produced by the university and available for students and staff to purchase. Not a very festive design, but perhaps the university's marketing team can revisit this, improve the design, and restart an old tradition. Having bought the cards, we must now sit down and write them. It can be hard to keep the inspiration going after writing the 30th card and trying to make each one slightly different. So we thought we could take inspiration from this item, found in the papers of the Forbes Adam family. The flyer here was produced by the American communications company, Western Union. As the advert states, for just $1 you could send a preset message from America to loved ones across the seas via the electronic marvel of cablegram. The list of messages includes such wishes as heartiest Christmas greetings from us all, may health and happiness be yours at Christmas and throughout the new year, and the rather long-winded, at this festive season, we would express appreciations of the cordial relations between us and extend to you best wishes for Christmas and the New Year. And just in case you forget someone who you've received a card from, you could always select many thanks for your good wishes, reciprocate heartily. It turns out that the Moonpig business model isn't such a new thing. Although a cablegram could convey sentiment, it wasn't very visually interesting. You wouldn't really want to decorate a wall with cheap paper printed with a short typescript message, would you? However, a pretty and bright Christmas card is a different matter. This one dates from 1868 and was sent to William Mortimer Baines by his son Henry. The Baines lived at Bell Hall in Escrick, near York, and that card was sent back home from New Zealand, where Henry was staying at the time. Although it looks like lace, it is actually made from paper, which has been created in a moulded paper press. It's embellished with a robin and holly, which we have come to think of as traditionally associated with the Christmas season. But the card also features a butterfly, flowers, and a bird, which we might associate more with summer than winter. It serves to demonstrate that what we think of as traditionally Christmas symbols are actually very modern concepts. On the subject of Christmas displays, we need to get the tree up and strew the garlands. This is exactly what Lady Constance Lawley of the villa at Escrick had in mind when she went walking in the fields near her home one day in the early 1900s. However, distracted by collecting ivy to decorate her house, Lady Constance didn't realise that she was trespassing on land belonging to her neighbour, the Baines of Bell Hall. Not only had she taken ivy from their fields, In the process of doing so, she had scared their game birds, scattering them across the land. Obviously feeling bad about the situation, and perhaps full of Christmas contrition after attending Christmas service, she wrote and sent this apology to Mrs. Baines on Boxing Day. A moral for us all? Whilst naturally sourced decorations may be better for the environment than plastic ones, be careful when out foraging that we aren't stealing from anyone. The halls having been decked, we are now free to enjoy ourselves a bit. So how about pantomime? Well, in 1980, Humberside Theatres ran a youth drama workshop which led to the production of a pantomonium. It seems this was a comic take on the pantomime format, with lively and almost hysterical enthusiastic performances by those involved, according to this review, which was written by a former University of Hull student for the student newspaper Hull Fire. Incidentally, students also had the option of seeing the more traditional Cinderella pantomime at Hull New Theatre that year if they preferred. December is always packed with Christmassy things to do, so let's allow ourselves one more event. How about this one, organised by the Hull Literary Club in December 1913. Every year, the club arranged a Christmas dinner with entertainment, usually comic in nature. They produced programmes outlining these events, and every year the programme would be designed to look like a particular historical document type. This year, the programme took the format of a notice advertising subscriptions to shares in a new company, the Yuletide Revels Unlimited. Tickets to the revels were 3 shillings and 6pence each, for which charge attendees could expect to forget all about growls, grumps and grievances arising from bills, burdens and banking accounts. Having had our fun, we should remember that Christmas is about more than presents and pantomimes, and we should ask ourselves, what is the true meaning? This poem, written by Elizabeth Graham of Portsmouth, was entered into an annual Christmas poetry competition organised by animal rights charity, the British Union for the Abolition of Vivisection. Titled The Search for Peace, Graham suggests the true meaning of Christmas can be found in the example set by our furry canine friends, whose love is unconditional and true. Not a literary masterpiece, but certainly a message we should all ponder. But for now, there are more pressing practical matters at hand, and we must get back to our preparations. A slightly left of field offering here relating to Christmas dinner. This is a draft agreement stating the terms under which Henry Southern was able to rent a house and land in Everingham from John Rushworth. As well as paying a monetary rent, Southern agrees to provide Rushworth with a fat hen every Christmas. Definitely not something your modern landlord asks for. Now that we have our turkey sorted, or nut roast for those of us who are vegetarian, we need to decide what to cook with. With so much effort going into preparing a Christmas meal, why not create a Christmas Day menu like this one from the Luxor Winter Palace Hotel in Egypt? This item comes from the papers of Louis and Philippa Burrell, mother and daughter creative types who travelled the world painting, writing and working with the rich and famous. We don't know if either of the Burrells spent December 1930 staying at the Winter Palace. Perhaps they did though, having been attracted to it because the hotel played host to journalists and travellers seeking the story of the discovery of Tutankhamun ever since 1922. On Christmas Day, some of us may attend a service or mass at church, so we've added that to the list. This item is an order of service, basically a programme given out to anyone attending Christmas services in 1917 at the Church of the Holy Sacrament, which was located in Arras on the Western Front. Many Allied soldiers would have attended such services whilst fighting in France during the First World War. The order of service was found amongst the papers of Colonel Rupert Alex Smith. As Alex Smith was born in 1913, it's unlikely that the item belonged to him. His father, Alexander Smith, appears to have been in France in the period May 1916 to March 1918, so it is possible that the item was brought home by him. So what's next? Oh yes, giving presents. This is a page from a letter written by Wilbert, an officer in the British Army, who was sent to Escrick Park near York to recover after being injured whilst on active duty during the First World War. Escrick Park, the country estate of the Lords Wenlock, was used as a military hospital during the war. Irene Lawley, the daughter of Lady Constance Wenlock, who you might remember as the Great Ivy Thief, served as a nurse and looked after the officers who were sent to the hospital. Wilbert was subsequently sent to Beckett's Park for further recuperation, and it is from here that he writes to his attentive former nurse. In the letter, he thanks Irene for sending him a letter. He updates her on the state of his health, and he recounts that all of the officers at Leeds have contributed 5 shillings and 6pence to buy presents for the staff there. Presents include an umbrella and light-up clock for one of the hospital sisters so that she can see at all times. But this year, affording presents will be difficult for many people, so perhaps in some instances we won't be able to give anything. In 1835, local tradesmen in Beverley found themselves in a similar position. Up until that point, there had been a local standing tradition of tradesmen giving Christmas presents from their own stock or profits to the less fortunate citizens of the town. Finding themselves in a period of economic poverty, local tradesmen banded together to end the practice. This item not only helps us understand past charitable practices and their demise, it also allows us to see the names of many local business owners. We've planned our meal, the turkey has been cooking whilst we were out at a service, we've opened our presents, and now it's time to sit down with friends and family for Christmas dinner. But what happens when you're far from home, away from those friends and family, for Christmas Day? Well, if you were a sailor in the 1950s and you happen to find yourself in port at Hong Kong, you might head down to the local Flying Angel Club. Such stations were operated across the world by the Christian organisation Mission to Seafarers. This photograph shows a group of sailors from different countries sitting down to a Christmas dinner provided by the Mission to Seafarers in 1955. It serves as a good reminder to reach out to those who might be lonely this Christmas. Well, all that is left to do now is write our thank you notes. This one is from a daughter to her mother, thanking her for the gift of a writing pad and fountain pen. It might surprise some to think that a child could be so pleased with such a Christmas present as to respond with, "You do not know how much I love you more than anyone else in the world, and you gave me the loveliest presents of anybody." The daughter would grow up to become a successful author, Philippa Burrell, so the present was in fact very appropriate. And to close out the year, because it was his 100th anniversary in August, some final words from former University of Hull librarian and poet Philip Larkin. This memo was sent by Larkin in 1971 to the catering staff at the University of Hull. "It was most kind of you to send us a Christmas cake, and I am writing to thank you, not only on my behalf, I am in any case trying to lose weight, but on behalf of the whole library staff. It was much enjoyed and will long remain in our memory, both as a good cake and a kind Christmas act. It seems churlish to couple grumbles with gratitude, but I wonder if you would care to investigate what cucumbers are cut with in the staff refectory. Almost every time I eat a sliced cucumber in either the bar or the staff refectory, I'm revolted by what seems to me to be the taste of a very old Victorian steel kitchen knife on the cucumber itself. Is there such an implement in use? If so, may I suggest it is taken out of service immediately?" An unsurprising mix of Christmas cheer and bar humbug from Larkin there. With our Christmas to-do list complete, on behalf of all of us at Hull History Centre, We hope you have a restful Christmas break and we'll see you in the new year.